A man opens his eyes. He has no idea where he is. Tubes run into his skin. Strange machines hum all around him. His mind is completely blank. Who is he? Why is he here? Nothing comes to him. Panic hits and he rolls off the table. A mechanical arm reaches for him. This arm belongs to Mary, the ship's AI system, but the man doesn't know that yet. He runs from it, sprinting through the ship, desperate to find another living soul. Minutes later, he finds someone. He rushes closer, then freezes. The man is dead. A cold chill runs through him. His name is Ryland Grace. He wanders deeper into the ship until he reaches a window, and what he sees outside stops him cold. He's in space. Ryland stands there, stunned, unable to process it. Then, he spots a piece of equipment nearby, and something clicks. He instantly knows what it does. That means one thing. He's a scientist. In the next room, giant screens play footage of Earth's most beautiful places. After changing into clean clothes, Mary asks him to record a daily video log. Ryland asks for the captain instead. Mary has no easy way to say it, so she just tells him the truth. He's the only one left. The rest of the crew is gone. Ryland begs Mary to turn the ship around, but she tells him something he doesn't want to hear. They cannot go home until the mission is complete. On the main screen, he spots something that looks like the sun, so he assumes he's still somewhere in the solar system. Mary corrects him. A message sent from here would take nearly 12 years to reach Earth. Confused and shaken, Ryland checks a star map and realizes this isn't his sun at all. It's something else entirely. Next, he checks the fuel levels. They're almost empty. Piece by piece, he works through the numbers on the screen, and the truth lands hard. He's roughly 11 light years from home. A sharp pain shoots through his skull, and pieces of his old life start flooding back. Before all this, Ryland was a molecular biologist. Later, he became a middle school science teacher. One day, a student asks him a question that makes the room go quiet. Is the sun really dying? Ryland explains it as simply as he can. Scientists discovered a strange band of infrared light stretching from Venus to the sun. They call it the Petrova line. Something inside that line is slowly draining the sun's heat. Within 30 years, Earth's temperature could drop so much that crops fail, food runs out, and people start dying. The kids look terrified. Ryland reassures them. The smartest scientists on the planet are already working on it. Back in the present, Ryland shaves his beard, digs through the supplies, and finds a bottle of vodka. He drinks a little, just enough to dull the ache. Going through his dead crewmates' belongings, memories surface. They were his friends. Loneliness creeps in, so he makes a crude doll from their old clothes and dances with it, just to feel a little less alone. While scribbling notes on a whiteboard, another memory hits him. One afternoon after class, a woman named Eva approaches him. She leads the Petrova task force. She's read a paper he once wrote, one that claimed life doesn't need water to survive. That paper got him fired. Everyone thought he'd lost his mind. Eva knows the real reason though. He insulted a superior, and after that, nobody wanted him around. Ryland tries to walk away, but Eva doesn't let him go that easily. She tells him something that stops him in his tracks. Samples pulled from the Petrova line survived on the surface of the sun. His water theory might actually be right. Once he hears the sun is truly dying, Ryland agrees to help. Inside a lab, Ryland studies the sample while world leaders watch from behind glass. It moves, but movement alone doesn't prove it's alive. The thing is pitch black, impossible to see into. After hours of testing, Ryland finally manages to light it up from the inside. And there it is, an alien cell. The test kills it instantly, but that's exactly what he needs. Now he can study what it's made of. The results come back, and they're mostly water. Furious, Ryland throws equipment across the room. His own theory just got disproven by his own hands. Still, there's something useful here. These cells release massive bursts of infrared light when they move, and the frequency matches the Petrova line exactly. They're feeding on solar energy and using it to move. Eva tells him he can go home now. Other scientists will take it from here, but Ryland can't let go. Not anymore. He pushes to stay involved, and Eva gives in, handing him 3 cells to study further. One question keeps nagging at him. Why does this thing travel to Venus instead of Mercury, which is so much closer? He buys supplies from a hardware store and builds a small box inside a bigger box, designed to mimic the infrared glow of Venus's atmosphere. The moment he switches on the light, every cell vanishes from the dish. His theory checks out, but now 3 cells are loose inside the sealed box, and if he opens it wrong, they'll bolt straight for the nearest light source. With guards standing by, Ryland locks himself inside the lab with the box. He kills the lights and opens it in total darkness. He finds his 3 glowing cells easily enough. Then he spots a 4th. His stomach drops. That means these organisms reproduce, and they need both sunlight and carbon dioxide to do it. That's exactly what Venus offers. News of the discovery spreads fast, and soon a military jet flies Ryland out to a ship in the middle of the ocean. Rows of scientists and world leaders are already waiting. They've run his experiment themselves and gotten the same results. They named the organism astrophage, and the plan is to manufacture 2 million kilograms of it. Ryland asks the obvious question, why so much? That's when Eva reveals the real secret behind Project Hail Mary. The sun isn't the only star dying. Astrophage is killing stars across the entire universe. Only one star remains untouched, a distant sun called Tau Ceti. Nobody knows why it's still healthy, so someone has to go find out. All that fuel they need for the trip, it has to come from astrophage itself. There's a catch though. In 2 years, they can only produce enough astrophage to reach Tau Ceti, a journey of roughly 3.5 years, with nothing left over for the trip home. Whatever they discover out there will be sent back to Earth in a small probe, one that will take around 26 years to arrive. The crew won't survive to see it land. Sacrificing 3 lives is the only way anyone can see to save the rest of the planet. Back in the present, memory fully restored, Ryland cuts his hair and gets dressed properly. He gathers his crewmates' bodies, slides photographs into their pockets, and through tears, thanks them for everything they gave. He promises to finish what they started. Then he sends them out into space. Days pass, and Mary announces they're approaching Tau Ceti. The engines cut out, gravity disappears, and Ryland floats free inside the cabin. Outside, there's a Petrova line here too, but this star burns bright and steady. Then something catches his eye, another ship drifting nearby. Ryland panics and tries to fly away, but no matter how fast he moves, the ship keeps following. Eventually, it launches something toward him. Could be a bomb, so he ignores it. The object bounces harmlessly off the hull and drifts away. A second object comes in slower this time. Ryland suits up, steps outside, and manages to grab it. Inside, he finds a strange sphere made of xenon, with rods sticking out in a specific pattern. The rods are a map, and this alien is showing him exactly where it's from, somewhere even farther out than Earth. Understanding hits him, so he rearranges the rods to mark Earth's location and sends it back. Not long after, a tunnel forms between the 2 ships, connecting them directly. Ryland suits up and crosses over. Through the glass, something shifts in the shadows. He jumps back in fright, but catches the wall just in time to keep from drifting away. When he looks again, he sees an arm, rock-like, jointed, unmistakably alien. The creature shows him a few handmade objects, including a tiny model of Ryland and a miniature version of its ship. Then it gestures for him to leave. He does. The alien ship rotates to match the Hail Mary spin, restoring gravity to the tunnel, and reconnects. This time, when Ryland shows the alien a model built from noodles shaped like its own ship, the creature comes closer. He gets his first real look at it. It resembles a walking chunk of stone. He tries a friendly hello, and the creature opens its mouth and lets out a sound so awful that Ryland screams and raises a tool in self-defense. The alien flinches back. Ryland immediately apologizes. Slowly, the 2 of them start copying each other's movements, almost like a game. The alien taps the glass, and Ryland taps back. It gestures for him to remove his helmet, but Ryland isn't ready to trust that far yet. The lights in the tunnel are fading, so he has to leave. But then something clicks. That collar the alien gave him earlier? It's shaped like a symbol for oxygen. The tunnel is breathable. After a long moment of hesitation, Ryland finally pulls off his helmet, and to his amazement, he breathes just fine. Back on his ship, Ryland studies the very first object the alien sent him and realizes it's an image of a Petrova line. This creature is here for the exact same reason he is. Its star is dying too. Ryland decides they need to work together, but first, they need a way to talk. He tries a measuring tape, thinking math might be universal. The alien just plays with it. A clock gets no reaction either. Then it hits him. The alien's ship is completely dark inside. This thing is blind, relying entirely on echolocation. He names it Rocky. Back in his own ship, he rewires a clock so the numbers physically pop upward. When he shows Rocky, the creature lights up and breaks into a little celebratory dance. Bit by bit, Ryland and Mary build a working translator, recording words and numbers through a laptop and microphone. The strange metal Rocky uses to build things gets a name too, Xenonite. One day, Ryland shows Rocky a sample of astrophage. Rocky recognizes it instantly and says it's very bad news. Both of them are here fighting the same enemy. Rocky explains that everyone on its ship died on the journey, leaving it completely alone, just like Ryland. That shared loss forges something real between them, a friendship neither one expected. When bedtime comes up, Rocky assumes Ryland is dying. Once Ryland explains what sleep actually is, Rocky shares something back. On its world, everyone sleeps together for protection. It never expects to wake up alone. Hearing how simple and trusting Rocky is about it, Ryland agrees and the two of them settle in near the window together. A flashback drops in. Before launch, Ryland meets the 3 astronauts chosen for the mission. They ask him a hard question. If the mission ends and they're still alive, how do they end things quickly instead of slowly starving? Ryland shows them the astrophage engine, capable of melting solid metal in seconds. Back in the present, a knock echoes through the ship. Ryland opens the door to find Rocky standing there, wrapped in a small pressurized bubble suit. Rocky wanders through every corner of the ship, then scolds Ryland for being messy. It wants them to live and work in the same space from now on. Ryland isn't thrilled. Rocky is bossy. Watching it eat is genuinely unpleasant, and since Rocky can see through walls and hear everything, there's zero privacy left. Through casual conversation, Ryland learns something important. Rocky's species knows nothing about radiation. That explains everything. Radiation killed Rocky's crew, and Rocky only survived because its workshop sat right next to the astrophage storage, which shielded it completely. The two of them agree they need fresh astrophage samples, so they set course for a nearby planet 11 days out. During the trip, Ryland shows Rocky recordings of Earth. Rocky opens up about its mate back home, together for 186 years. Curious, Rocky asks about Ryland's love life. Ryland admits he had a girlfriend once, but he was always buried in work, so she eventually left him for someone else. They reach the planet and Ryland goes out on a spacewalk to activate a light that draws in thousands of astrophage cells, creating a glow. They name the planet Adrian. Testing the samples turns up something bizarre. The same amount of astrophage arriving on the planet is also leaving it, no growth at all. A closer look reveals bacteria mixed into the sample. There's life here. Rocky figures it out first. Something on this planet is hunting the astrophage like prey, keeping the population in check. If they can capture that predator and bring it home, it might save both their stars. The problem is, these predators live deep in the clouds, and the ship was never built to fly into an atmosphere. Rocky offers a solution. Build a long chain and use it to fish samples straight out of the clouds. Since Ryland has never piloted anything before, he spends hours practicing. During one of these sessions, he tells Rocky something heavy. There's not enough fuel left to make it home. He's going to die out here. Rocky refuses to accept that. It offers to hand over some of its own fuel, even knowing it means an extra 6 years added to the return trip. Rocky won't let its friend die, not after everything. Ryland breaks down and pulls Rocky into a hug, overwhelmed with gratitude. He had already given up any hope of surviving this. On the mission, Ryland descends toward the clouds to collect samples. Heat damage starts creeping through the hull as they haul everything back up. Suddenly, a chunk of debris slams into him and he blacks out. When he comes to, the sample is still hanging by its chain and the temperature keeps climbing. Rocky urges him to come back inside and try again later. Ryland refuses to give up. Another impact tangles him in the tether. He cuts it loose with a knife, grips the hull with his bare hands, and drags himself back inside. As the ship races away from the planet, the damage keeps spreading. Even with the engines off, the ship spins wildly out of control. A fuel tank has ruptured, forcing them to eject 2 containers just to stabilize things. The jolt knocks them both unconscious. Ryland wakes briefly, tries to hit the gravity control, and passes out again. Rocky stirs next, but the translator is down, so there's no way to communicate. Left with no other option, Rocky breaks out of its own protective bubble, hits the controls itself, and carries Ryland to the medical bay, enduring real pain just to keep its friend alive. Another flashback surfaces. Just days before launch, an explosion tears through the lab, killing the lead science team. With no one else qualified, all eyes turn to Ryland, the only person who understands the mission inside and out. He says no, he's not an astronaut. Eva insists he's exactly what they need. He keeps refusing, but by then, nobody is listening to him anymore. Back in the present, Ryland regains consciousness. Mary confirms the ship is stable again. Then he notices something falling from Rocky's body, like crumbling dirt. He moves closer and sees Rocky lying motionless inside its box, its color completely drained. The truth sinks in. Rocky gave its life to save him. Ryland breaks down completely, Through the grief, he tests the sample he brought back and discovers something remarkable. This organism destroys astrophage on contact and grows stronger doing it. That's the answer. That's why Tau Ceti's son never got sick. He names the new organism Predator. Standing over Rocky's still body, he promises to save both their planets. But there's still a massive problem. He has no idea how to reach Rocky's home world, a planet called Arid. His only lead is Rocky's own ship. One night, grieving, Ryland falls asleep right next to his friend's body. Then, impossibly, Rocky stirs back to life and returns to him. Ryland can barely believe it, pulling Rocky into a tight embrace. When he shares the news about Predator, Rocky lights up too. They finally have a real solution. Together, they celebrate. The mission is finally within reach. Days later, they reach Rocky's ship. Stepping inside, Ryland is stunned to find the entire vessel built from crystal. Another flashback plays out. Ryland tells Eva he doesn't want to go on this mission. Send someone else. Eva reminds him he's Earth's last real shot. Otherwise, everyone he's ever taught is finished. He still says no. Eva's tone hardens. This isn't a request anymore. It's an order. When Ryland tries to run, guards grab him, sedate him, and load him onto the ship against his will. That's the real reason he woke up with no memory at all. Back in the present, the time comes for Ryland and Rocky to part ways. Both of them feel it deeply, knowing there's a real chance they'll never see each other again. They call each other brother, say goodbye, and climb into their separate ships, each heading home. 11 months into the return journey, an alarm suddenly rips through the cabin. Ryland checks the readout and realizes the Predator samples have come into contact with the remaining astrophage, destroying it on contact. He was supposed to keep them apart, and he made a costly mistake. Fast, he repacks the Predator samples somewhere safe and records everything he can onto video, hoping Earth will understand it when it arrives. Then, a darker thought hits him. Rocky's ship might be facing this exact same danger right now, but saving Rocky means never making it home himself. It's the hardest decision of his entire life, and for a moment, he genuinely doesn't know what to do. In the end, Ryland chooses sacrifice. He loads the Predator samples into small probes and launches them toward Earth. Then he turns his own ship around, heading straight for Rocky instead. Days later, he spots Rocky's ship in the distance. He crosses through the tunnel one more time and calls out. Rocky comes rushing over and the two of them embrace, overjoyed. They're together again, and this time, it looks like they'll stay that way. Years go by. On Earth, Eva has grown noticeably older. The sun keeps weakening and the planet is already sliding into a new ice age. But Ryland's probe finally arrives, carrying the Predator samples and everything he recorded. Watching the footage, Eva learns the whole story, including Rocky. It brings her real joy. She and the remaining scientists get to work using Predator to wipe out astrophage, and slowly, the fight to save Earth begins to turn. Meanwhile, Ryland is living on Arid. One day, stepping outside, he runs into Rocky. Rocky has built him something incredible, a space designed to feel exactly like Earth, just so Ryland feels at home. Rocky has even kept the Hail Mary fully ready, in case Ryland ever decides to go back. Ryland tells him he'll think about it. For now, the two friends settle into a quiet, happy life together. Eventually, Ryland becomes a teacher on Arid, spending his days guiding a classroom full of kids who look just like Rocky. And that's where the story of Project Hail Mary comes to an end. If you enjoyed this one and want more movie recaps like it, hit subscribe. What would you have done in Ryland's place?